Tonight I was just on the internet. It's around 6:30 p.m. So it's kind of a busy time of night, but that's when I'm usually on the internet. And I was trying to watch YouTube. Actually, couldn't even buffer 480p, so I decided I'll just go ahead and do a T-Mobile home internet speed test. And this is November, and you can see right now I have my gateway in the same spot, so I'm getting a good signal, which should still be more than enough to just accomplish basic things. It's not optimal, but as I've said before, I can go outside and get 5 bars, and it's not really much of an improvement. There's not much I can do. I have the gateway right next to the window. It's aimed toward it. When I got this months ago, I did many videos where I was really getting technical and doing everything I could to try and get the best reception, but I guess that's still not good enough for some people. So maybe for my next video, I should just completely relocate closer to a tower and please people that way. I'm not sure. But again, usually it's very good and it'll bounce around between the two. But let's go ahead and get into a speed test. Go ahead here and start. Already pretty terrible. The fact that it's even in kilobits at all for any duration is unacceptable. And again, I just don't know why people act like the reception is a deal. I mean, most people's phones aren't, operating on high max signals, and they do much better than this. Now, the upload's not that terrible, but it's still not very good. It's not near what it was, but again, that's not being deprioritized as much, obviously, because most people are probably using bandwidth and download and not upload. So, I mean, nothing's really going to change here. The ping, the latency's terrible. 2.7 megabits, you can't really do anything with that. The ping, so you can't game. You can't, even with that terrible ping, you really can't even browse because everything takes too long to contact the server. It's basically useless. And they'll let this run now. And you can see it's just, even to get it off the ground here is terrible. I'm not sure why it's even worse. Actually, I've never seen it that low, so I'm not sure what the deal is there. But you can see it is T-Mobile. There's no funny business going on here. Well, the only funny business is T-Mobile calling themselves a 5G network, I suppose. But now I usually use the actual app, so I'll just go ahead and switch over to my iPhone. Okay, so now I'm on my iPhone here. You can see again I'm connected to T-Mobile home internet. Here's my metrics. So the LTE is not that bad. It's not that good either, but I mean, it's not awful. It's not as good as it was earlier this year in the same spot, but if it's anything like DTV, usually changing seasons and such, it gets worse. So again, I think what I need to do next is just go outside of the gateway, try and get that 5 bars again, do some tests, and see what it can do under best case scenario. But again, I mean, it's still really bad. And thankfully, it's not as unacceptable, like basically dial up, like the speed test was on the desktop version. But it's still pretty awful. The ping's unacceptable. The jitter's awful. Download is terrible. Upload's pretty bad too. This time of night, it's just at this point, it's useless. It was never this bad, but I mean, now it's to the point where you really can't even do anything. So I use Mint Mobile. So that also uses T-Mobile towers. And I'm going to go ahead and try that. Now, I can't guarantee it's using the same tower. But if there's a better tower, then I would question why can't the T-Mobile gateway find that tower as well. But you can see I am getting a little bit better, but not much. and now it's really kind of being the same. So it's really just their network altogether. Doesn't appear to be any good. Again, this is under, you can see the artificial throttling, because that's usually what I can get upload like in the middle of the night or something. So even Mint Mobile right now is kind of feeling the slowdown, but I completely expect that from a third-party MVNO. That's to be expected. But again, that's the whole thing. Like, the ping's unacceptable. You can see this time again. I'm on Mint. You can see how it gets artificially throttled back down, even though it's still way better. It's about 2 to 3 times better than what I'm getting with T-Mobile. And just for the heck of it, let me switch back. Now I'll go back to first party T-Mobile. And again, the people like to tell me like I don't know what I'm doing, that's the nature of the network, and I understand that, but it just doesn't seem to be a network that's worth your money then if it deprioritizes to this degree. And I know not everyone. Now you can see this time I actually got it good, and there's the throttling again. So although it's still capable, it's just their deprioritization is just so aggressive. I know it's my tower. I know not everyone has these problems, but it's just something to be leery of. But I think I'll leave that there. Let this test finish up. But so for November here, I'll be coming up in about 4 or so months on 1 year anniversary. I don't think it's going to get better. I think it's going to get worse as more people use this network. They're just going to clog down this tower even more. It doesn't seem to be it's going to be improved. So I'm going to have to switch to cable. It's just a matter how bad will it get and how much can I put up with until I do so. So let me know how it's working out for you on your end. I know some people get 3, 4, 5, 600 megabits. They don't have that problem. Hopefully it's their towers won't get that congested where they'll do this. But I know other people are just as bad as I am, so it's all over the place. But that's why I like to document all this, just to put data points out there and hear what other people have to say. So thanks for watching, and you'll see me in the next one, if I can get on the internet using T-Mobile. Have a good one.